All right, everybody, what is up? Good morning. Gonna go ahead and make this my first video of the day because I know a lot of people are thinking about this right now. I originally planned for another video to be my first of the day, but as I thought about it, I was like, I'm gonna want to get on this one because people are asking questions and people want to know what's going on. So we're gonna lead with a little talk about injuries. I'm gonna say what I can. Keep in mind that as of right now, there isn't necessarily a ton of detail, and I'm just working with what the little bit is out there. But when I streamed last night, it was pretty late, so there weren't a ton of people there. But when I streamed last night for a little bit after the game, I did notice that the forefront of everybody's mind was what's going on with these players that we lost to injury. So I'm going to bump the other couple videos I had back a little bit. We're going to do Pro Football Focus videos later today. And we'll get through everything we need to get to. All right. Before we go any further into this video, I want to tell you guys a little bit about my friends over at Sleeper. If you're not using the Sleeper app for daily fantasy football, you are missing out. Get over there. Check out the left side of your screen right now. I've got the app up. Look at all this great stuff you can get up to. Look at all the over-unders you can pick on. I've got an entry for this week. Let's take a look. I got Mike Evans over 60 yards. You know they're going to be throwing him the ball a lot. I got Keenan Allen over 36 yards. You know that he's going to want to try to cash in a little bit here against a weak Dallas defense. Jamar Chase with the anytime touchdown on Miami, and J.J. McCarthy under 189 passing yards. So get on over to Sleeper. You can put together a ticket just like this. Use the promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions do apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Check it out. Put together your own ticket and have some fun with sports. Back to the video. Okay, so the Seahawks won the game yesterday, obviously, but they did lose a couple of players to injury, and a lot of people want to know what's up because there were three readily obvious injuries the Seahawks had yesterday, and all three of them happened in the secondary. And while they were getting lit up anyway, it is worth noting that Matt Stafford got to over 450 passing yards in part because our secondary was not healthy, and we're going to need these guys. So let's talk about this a little bit. Now, keep in mind the information that I'm going to pass along in this video was put out there by McDonald within the first hour after that game. So we don't necessarily know a lot yet, but one thing that we do know, and this is the unmitigated good news, Nick Emmanwori is totally fine. I don't know if we're going to learn very much today. Remember, it's Friday. They've got the whole weekend in front of them, and then they've got a normal process starting next week of going through the midweek process. We might not really learn too much about these players that are injured until maybe after the weekend. I don't know what they're going to do on Friday after a Thursday night game to offer any more clarity to us. They might be doing stuff. I don't know if that stuff is going to reach us. So it's really nice to know that at the very least one of the three guys is totally fine. According to Mike McDonald, reiterated here by Field Goals, Nick Emmanwori apparently could have come back if needed. So he cleared concussion protocol. So this wasn't necessarily obvious to me while watching the game last night. Nick Emmanwori got what was believed to be a concussion when coming up to make a tackle, so that's why they took him back to the locker room. I didn't pick up on that live, but apparently he passed the protocol, so he didn't actually have a concussion. And according to what I read, the plan was if the Rams got the ball back somehow, he would enter the game. So obviously there was no scenario where the Rams were going to get the ball back because we were always going to go for two. But according to McDonald, if they had for some reason kicked the extra point, like maybe they had a 15-yard penalty on the 2-point conversion and they were obligated to kick the field goal or extra point, then Emmanwori would have re-entered the game. So therefore, the only logical assumption is that Emmanwori could have not only come back into that game, but will be fully available for our next game in a week and a half. So nothing to worry about here. Good news, Emmanwori, good to go. Now we've got two other secondary injuries that we need to talk about. This first one, Kobe Bryant, and this one was alarming because he got hurt, a knee injury, and then it was immediately reported by Ian Rappaport here, basically right after he left the field, that he was out and will not return. So generally speaking, when a player gets hurt, leaves, and then it's immediately reported that they will not return to the game, it's a concerning sign. You don't want to see that. It makes it seem like it might be pretty serious. So that was definitely an alarming period of time. However, McDonald did address the Kobe Bryant injury somewhat in his press conference. Got that from Cole Musgrove here. Kobe Bryant and Woolen have knee injuries. Mentioned Bryant's knee injury isn't season ending. So I will take that as good news given where we could have been. It's about as good a news as we're going to get because the knee injury looked fairly notable, significant, and it was definitely something that in mid to late December could end your year. So mentioned Bryant's knee isn't considered season ending, which would mean that maybe he misses the rest of the regular season but comes back for the playoffs. Maybe he is able to come back for the last game. I kind of get the sense he's going to miss at least one game. I do. So I'm already prepared for that, but not a season ender, which is very, very big. Kobe was having a nice year, contract year. I think he's doing good work. I know last night was not a great game for him, but if we're being honest, it was not a great night for anybody on defense. So be careful about assuming that Ty Okada can just take his role and there's no loss. There's a loss. So there's that. Now there's one more injury that as of right now, we don't really seem to know anything about. I saw nothing about Woolen's knee injury. I know he left the game in the fourth quarter, didn't come back. I don't have a great sense for how severe that might be. It was obviously severe enough to keep him out of the game. I don't know if it's severe enough to keep him out of the next game or the game after that or the postseason. But we got nothing in terms of detail from McDonald there. So if you're asking what's going on with Woolen, as of right now, I have no answer. There doesn't seem to be an answer that exists to anybody but maybe the people in the building for the Seahawks. So that's probably about as good as you're going to get. Emmanwori, totally fine. Kobe Bryant's season's not over. Now we just cross our fingers with Woolen. And by the way, we also have to hope that Kobe Bryant's knee injury is not season ending. Just because McDonald says it doesn't mean it's definitely true. Riley Mills, I remember this, for Notre Dame last year. Well, technically earlier. Last year. Almost exactly a year ago. Got hurt in the playoff game. And the coach for Notre Dame, the coaches reported, we think he'll be back maybe in a couple weeks. And then a couple days later, they realized, oh, no, he's out for the rest of the season and then some. So things change. There's no guarantee that holds, but I'll take it. It's definitely better than hearing it is season ending. Okay. More videos coming. Keep an eye out. We're going to do Pro Football Focus later in the afternoon. I've got a lot going on today. And it is my birthday, and yesterday was quite the birthday present. I will say that. Okay. Go Hawks. See you guys soon. That's all I can say about injury stuff right now. So hopefully that at least gives you some info.